To this continuation of the Advent Calendar Reveal Countdown. We are on day 7. So, if you haven't started holiday shopping yet, you might want to start to think about it. I'm just saying, if you're into that sort of thing. Anyway, so on number 7 here it says The Marvelous Land of Oz, Gillikin, Munchkin, Quadlin, and Winky. And then the middle, Emerald City. What is in here? What is in here? Is it like another map? Like a little take-along map? What is this? A coaster. The heck? How fun is that? It is a coaster. Nice. I'm telling you, whoever did put this one together did a good job. Hey! I'm doing something right now. I'm telling you, it's full moon. And today, when I was out, people's computer systems weren't working the same as yesterday. So, just saying. Keep some extra time in the schedule. Because, that's just how things go sometimes. Like, literally, I think it took them it was faster for them to make my sandwich today than it was for them to ring it up in the computer. Sometimes things without technology just work better, right? And if you think about it, in the original movie, which I did read one of the Oz books when I was a child, and the movie is quite similar. But there is one part where they have to put on these special glasses because the reflection of the Emerald City is too bright and like blinding. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Maybe it's more symbolic when they get into the poppies. You know what I mean? It's kind of like those rose-colored glasses because, at the end they don't stay in Oz, do they? Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what messages we have for today. And in case you didn't know, they call Australia Oz as well. The land down under. Okay. Yeah, I know you hear somebody outside. I know you do. The ears on this one, I tell you. Better than mine. And that's saying something. Please don't flood the chat with your comments or you will get removed. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Yeah, you're getting in a timeout. Thank you. Miracles. Wow, the miracle card came out yesterday in the reading from a different deck, but it was literally that one, okay? You are being asked to pay extra close attention to all the big and small miracles that have already occurred in your life. So, as you're thinking about 2025, think about all the big and small miracles that have occurred just this year, right? And that could be something as simple as, you see somebody run a red light and thank God you saw it. Like, well, isn't that a little miracle that you didn't get in an accident? Be grateful for that. I'm working over here. He wants to get in on the action. Have already occurred in your life, and also those that are currently occurring and are still to come. Miracles surround you. Be on the lookout for them. Yeah, people think sometimes, oh, because this isn't working out and this isn't working out, like they don't have the favor of God, if you will. But it's a big bad world out there, and not everybody has God's favor 100% of the time, do they? Sometimes it's hard work, right? So those little miracles that we get while we can, we celebrate them. Even if it's around people that we don't like. Take politics, for example. I'm sure there's been a lot of that, hopefully it's toned down this year a little bit. Everyone survived their Thanksgiving table. But, just because it wasn't your person that won the ticket doesn't mean that good things can't happen, right? Moving forward. And that's what it's about. It's about moving forward with the faith that miracles are yet to occur. I mean, did anyone think that there was going to be a United Nations Security Council approved plan for Gaza by the end of this year? Did anyone think that was actually going to happen? It is right now. I'd say that's a miracle. It's definitely a step in the right direction instead of blowing the shit out of each other when there's nothing fucking left to blow. So if you don't understand the miracle of that, maybe you need to put your little thinking cap on and go back to the drawing board. Start making miracles for other people since you're so fortunate. Okay. Also, as a reminder, holiday time, and there's lots of them out there. I've been seeing them on the news, the toy drives and stuff, through the churches, Marine Corps, Salvation Army, all those sorts of things. So, and of course, food pantries as well. Well, this is weird. This is like a this came out push pull love spread. Hmm. Well, maybe we'll follow this because it says what brings you together. So number one, a miracle. Maybe it is a miracle, that you're being in the right place at the right time, right? You ever watch those little Hallmark movies and then they're like, they go into the store at Christmas time and then they bump into so and so. Do you know what I'm saying? And no, I don't mean 50 Shades of Grey, but hey, they bumped into each other at a store. What else do you want? Okay. We already had You Got Mail. Okay. We already did that one. Celebrate. You're being asked to celebrate a recent accomplishment, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate the moment. You deserve that and so much more. Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. Okay. So this saying here, what pulls you apart? So maybe if you are around somebody you love, family celebrations, things of that nature, it's like, are we going to spend it here or there, blah, blah, right? And it's like, and then it becomes a thing, right? Where it's like, this is supposed to be a time where we're coming together to celebrate, right? Um, a lady I used to work with, her folks were divorced. So it was like, we have to go to 4 different houses on Thanksgiving, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, I wouldn't be doing that. I thought I'd be hosting it at my house and they can all fucking show up to my house or not and choose not to get along. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't running all over the goddamn countryside because so and so don't want to sit at so and so's house for 30 minutes over a goddamn mashed potatoes that somebody lovingly prepared. You know what I mean? I ain't into that shit. So, yeah, when you get to that person's house, you better tell them mashed potatoes were good. You understand me? They didn't have to do none of it. None of it. I saw Rudolph last night too. The Rudolph show was on. Check in. When you think about whatever it is that you're pondering, take a moment to check in with how you feel about it. Do you feel lighter or heavier, excited or filled with dread? Pay attention to your inner guidance. It's always so helpful. Yeah, checking in with yourself before you're about to do something. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like, oh, you were supposed to go to this big holiday party, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, you know what? I'm just not really feeling it. Or maybe you are feeling it. You know what I mean? And, maybe your partner doesn't. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of things how you can check in. But this feeling lighter or heavier, yes, that's like a real thing. Okay. Um, yeah. Listen, you're being asked to listen for that inner guidance. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going here. Especially check into, and that coaster is reminding me of something like if somebody just sees you as a piece of furniture, like I'm not the coaster in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you might have to remind them that you have thoughts and feelings too. I was looking on Reddit the other day, and a lot of people are posting. They're like, "Is this appropriate to wear to the holiday party or blah blah blah?" And some of them were really like cool looking dresses, like fancy dresses, which some people might have thought was too much or too revealing. But like, if you put like a little bolero jacket on top of it, or you wear, you know what I mean? If you're wearing it with something else, like who cares, right? And it depends on where it's being held and all of those things. It's like um sometimes allowing yourself to shine. um it's the holidays. It's about letting that sparkle come through and saying, yes, look at all the things that we have and all the things that we have ahead that are so special to us. Okay, so let's get some clarification cards here. The turtle. Okay, you might be moving slower during the winter season, right? You know, wanting to kind of duck your head in, hibernate a little bit. But also, what I mean? Like, if somebody didn't say Merry Christmas to you at Walgreens, like, don't take it as a personal offense, right? Like, let it roll off your back, like the water would off a turtle. Okay. Guess what? There's still not enough people in the stores working. Part of that's probably because they don't want to hire people, right? But don't take it out on, Joe Schmo behind the register because he decided to show up today, you know. All right. Panther, look at that fierceness. Yeah, with the celebration. So there might be something that you are very passionate about celebrating. Holiday traditions. It kind of reminds me of that one movie. It was just on the other day on one of the channels, The Family Stone. And when the one girlfriend, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, who comes and like she's finding that she doesn't fit in with the family and everything. And there's this one thing though that she makes, and it's like the egg casserole with the bread in it, like for Christmas morning, and she has it all like nicely done. It's prepped in the fridge. That was part of her tradition, her celebration, and her wanting to say, "Hey, I'm putting my stamp on this because I matter." Just because I don't fit in with your family, right, doesn't mean that I don't get to enjoy anything of mine. Okay. So, yes, you are allowed to celebrate. You are allowed to say Merry Christmas. You are allowed to say Happy Holidays. You're allowed to say, peace and blessings through the new year. It's a goodwill gesture. Get used to it and start saying it to other people. That we need the tenacity of a panther sometimes gritting through our teeth and saying this to people so they understand how fortunate they are. I swear to God. I mean, oh man, if I had kids, and they start acting up, you've seen the scenes on TV when the parents get upset at the spoiled kids and they're like, you know what? I'm going to take all of these Christmas presents that I got you back. What do you think about that? You know what I mean? When they start threatening the children. Krampus coming to mind. I think Krampus works on the adults too, though. You know? Mouse. Yeah. And some of you are going to find out that what do they say in the end of Casablanca? You know, find the problems of three people don't really amount to a whole lot. The personal problems. Okay. Yes, we all are trying to be, our best selves and self-actualizers and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you actually have a problem, or is this just your conversation starter that you wanted to talk about because you have an interest in it? I mean, that's fine. But is your entire world upended? You personally, you know? They was talking about building a better mousetrap. Why? Because the mice are smart enough to figure it out. If a mouse can figure it out, so can you. So maybe you need to check in with that, right? And don't worry about what the crowd's doing. Okay? Have mercy, Jesus. Okay, and then on the bottom we have peacock. So yeah, if you are celebrating something, don't be afraid to get a little gussied up. It's the season to celebrate. I saw this goofy, it was one of those like ugly sweater things at Target. And obviously, like, it's not something you could throw in the washing machine, like, because was tinsel literally attached to to the whole thing. But that's part of what it's about, you know? Jingle, what was that song in Rudolph the other day? Jingle, 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 dun, 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 dun. Santa's on his way, right? Okay. I mean, can you imagine if the sleigh was pulled by peacocks? It'd look a little different, but I think they would get the job done, using the magic of Santa, of course. And maybe a little bit of turbocharged flying technology, on those sleighs. I'm sure they've had some improvements over time. Especially as the world's population has grown. I mean, what they say, there's like 8 billion people nowadays. So that's a lot of toys that needs to be delivered. This is not the Norwegian Santa of yesteryear, Saint Nick, or Swedish, whatever, Danish. Although I think the Danes kind of enjoy the Krampus thing. I mean, is that more Scandinavian, the Krampus thing? I'm not really sure. I've never been overseas for a Krampus celebration. Okay. So try to stay jolly, even if you are in the land of Oz where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's people out wearing that. Oh my God, I can't believe people brought their kids out without this and that and the other. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Because during the holiday season, yeah, you see more folks. And then, it's a time also to think about and listen to what is the true need. Okay. So, just the same as we can give to ourselves, we can give to others, and do it, both joyfully and happily and fiercefully. Okay. Because we know what it's like to help our neighbor, right? Some folks that are alone over the holidays, you might want to check in on them, right? Just say, hey, just checking on you, right? Okay. Okay. Alrighty, I think that is all I have for today, the 7th day of Advent. So I hope you enjoyed this calendar reading. You can coast through life, right? But you don't want to be the coaster, right? Maybe somebody's asking for a skateboard or roller skates for Christmas. What do you think? So they can coast on by. They still make those little roller skating shoes, don't they? The tennis shoes with the little skates in them and stuff. Anyhow, please do like the video if you've been in the chat today. Be kind to others in the chat. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. All right. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye-bye.